Now I'm on dialysis still, as they're doing. I'm still on dialysis.
And
this
you
was
get
just an
quadruple
eval
bypass.
for the thing. They found a heart thing, so I can't get the transplant unless I do this quadruple bypass. So they tell me now we're gonna have to run a 24-hour dialysis during the surgery. I said, what?
This is gonna hurt. It's time for the Suffering Podcast.
Got into Amazon stores, got into different businesses.
Because
became my own boss.
Your Instagram is Leo to CEO.
And
Which, by the way, it took me a long time to figure that one out.
yeah, everybody thought my name was Leo.
Right.
Like, hey, Leo, they would message me inbox.
Yeah.
So who's Leo? But yeah, did that, and
I picked up on it right away.
It took me a while.
I'm smart like that.
detective material.
Yeah,
Right?
there you go. I was just a lowly patrolman, so I'm good. So what? So you get into Amazon stores?
Amazon stores, get into different businesses, get into social media stuff.
Did you ever find that love that you had as
My girlfriend?
Well, besides that,
Oh.
that's just listen. You have to bring that. You have to bring your girlfriend in here to show that. Hey, listen, I can land some.
Yeah, she dresses me. You know?
I got you. But you had a certain love for the job.
I had a passion, and I was like, and that passion was like, I feel like when I went to a call, I was the guy that had the answer. Everybody looks to you when you get out of the car in that uniform. And that was one of the things transitioning over to when I got sick was now I got to look to somebody for help. I'm not that guy. I don't look for help. I don't look for a donor. You know, I'm the guy that has the answers. I'm the guy here to protect. When you get out with that uniform, no matter where you work, you're the guy everybody's looking at.
Yeah.
You're the main show.
You're
to the
supposed to know
circus, basically.
all the answers.
Yeah. If you don't know, you better come up with something.
It's like when you were a kid and something was going
Yeah.
on, the police showed up, they'd say, oh, thank God the cops are here.
Yeah.
Now all of a sudden you're that cop. You're the one that.
Yeah.
And you're
I
on.
didn't know shit. What you have to do is you have to fake it until someone who got there knows what's going on.
But you're also that guy. You know, people drive down the road. You see flashing lights on the side of the road surrounding
Yeah.
something. Everybody slows down.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody looks to see what's going on. You actually got a front row seat, so you get to see all that stuff.
Best show on earth.
Is there anything even close to it in your post-police life?
No. Nothing close to it. I mean, life and death stuff, yes, firsthand with the health stuff, but nothing really comes close. Nothing gives you that rush of it, you know. As a sports gave me the rush, you know, and nothing like the police department. I love the job doing it. I didn't like all the politics with it, but doing the job, I mean, I loved every minute of it. I love helping people. Not to be cliche, but I think I made a slight difference in some people's life. Maybe some for the bad if I put them away in jail. But
Or you could have changed their life around.
But I think I did good. Delivered a baby. I did that. You know, a lot of good stuff. I think I did help people. Hopefully I made a difference somewhere.
I'll never forget. I was at a Special Olympics event, and a guy comes up to me. He says, "Weren't you a Lyndhurst cop?" I said, "Yeah." He said, "Do you remember me?" "Yeah, you look familiar." He goes, "You really helped my son out." He goes, "My son screwed up." He goes, "You locked him up." He goes, "You treat him like a perfect gentleman." He said, he was so impressed. He said he just took the police test now.
Oh, very good.
It's great.
Still don't know what I did to the kid. I have no clue.
But you locked him up for what?
I don't know. I have no clue.
Yeah.
And now I know the guy so well, it's beyond asking what I did for his son.
Next time you see him, you got to ask him. So you're moving along, and
Everything's going great.
Stuff goes wrong again.
I would say it was January of 23. It was the third time I got COVID. I had it twice. The first time was really bad. I got the infusion. The second time wasn't that bad. Third time I got it, I knew I got it because the antibodies were high in the blood. And the next blood test, the creatinine, which I mentioned before, started elevating. And it just kept elevating. Normal was like a 1.2, 1.3. So it was at a 2. We went 2.5. And by May 30th, I was getting a call from the doctor. Go to the emergency room. It was at a 12.
Wow.
I think basically with COVID, the filters collapsed in the kidney. And it was going great. And it went downhill. And it's the day that broke my world.
You got to start thinking that, not again.
Here we go.
I was like, I don't know how I'm going to go through this again. I really don't.
So you had to sit through dialysis again?
This time, yeah. It was about 4 hours. And it was awful this time. I can't even tell you how bad it was. My mother would come with me. And she'd fall asleep there. She'd watch me.
Because you're her little boy. You'll always be her little boy.
Yeah.
You know? You finally, but it takes you how long to find a donor?
Well, this is where this is where the saga continues. So I'm on dialysis. A couple weeks at this point, we go back to Columbia where I had the first one. I said, they were great the first time. Let's do it again. And it's very emotional. I'm sorry. we start going through the testing. My mom says, I want to get tested. I said, they wouldn't let you do it. You have a heart condition. She's like, I don't know. I feel good. I lost weight. I'm like, all right. So we start the process with my mom. I didn't want to do it. My girlfriend also was getting tested, and a few other people, actually. I was surprised. And we start going through this, and I'm having a rough time with dialysis, but I'm going to the gym. I'm trying to stay healthy. They do the work. You got to do a full workup. They do a full blood panel, colonoscopy, and the last thing is a cardiac workup. So I believe it was July. No, I'm wrong. August 30th. I have a cardiac workup prior. I have EKG, which was good. Echocardiogram is good. Nuclear stress test shows 2 artifacts. They said it's probably false. You probably moved because you're running on a treadmill.
Yeah.
Okay, great. Schedule me for an angiogram. Angiogram is basically to run dye up your wrist, goes through your arteries, shows what's going on. So I was nervous going in. My girlfriend was with my dad, my mom. We all went to Columbia. And I'm laying on the table. The guy's joking around. He's talking. All of a sudden, he gets real serious. He goes, hey, do you smoke? I said, no, I don't smoke. And I hear, it's tight in there. It's tight in that one. Tight there. Oh, that one's tight. And they were playing music. They stopped the music. This doctor comes in, who's the cardiologist. She looks over me. Yeah, you have 4 arteries blocked. One is the widowmaker. You need a quadruple bypass. I said, I don't want a quadruple bypass. Oh, you don't? Oh, well. And she walks away. I never see her again till later on. Next thing I tell my mom, come here. They're telling me how I need a quadruple bypass. She goes, no way. My father was with my girlfriend. My father was eating a slice of pizza. He said, no way. They come there. Next thing you know, they schedule me for a quadruple bypass. But I can't do it right there. I got to wait 2 long weeks. Try not to do anything. You will have a heart attack.
Yeah.
I said, are you kidding me?
Hey, thanks.
I was
When
like-
they tell you one of them's a widowmaker.
So I'm sitting there now. This destroyed me even more. I remember crying with my girlfriend, my family. Open heart surgery is a major surgery.
Did they crack you?
Oh, they cut me open. They sawed me open.
Yeah.
Sawed me open.
Cut your whole rib cage straight
Yeah,
up.
well,
Pull it.
because they can do. I guess it's because it's quadruple. You have to crack
they take
you.
the arteries, veins from your leg. They vein map you. Thank God I had big veins in my leg. And I say the 2 weeks leading up to it, me and my girlfriend laugh. I said, let's go to it was a Aerosmith concert. What the hell?
Yeah.
Let's go. I'll spend the money. We got good tickets. I said I might die. Who knows? But yeah, those 2 weeks were hard. If it wasn't for my girlfriend and my family, I don't know if I would have made it because I was like, I don't want to die like this, you know?
So Francesca, is he Mr. Sensitive over here? Because he's like, hey, I might die. You're like, that's not something you want to tell your girlfriend.
No, it's not in that way. I was probably had bawling tears when I said it.
Well, Francesco, before you die, sign this. Sign this.
Okay, good, because I just took out that big policy on you.
Yeah, but it crushed me. It really did.
So your kidney's fine. It was
No, my kidney's shot too. Now I'm on dialysis still, as they do. I'm still on dialysis. This
you
was
need
just an
quadruple
eval
bypass.
for the thing. They found a heart thing, so I can't get the transplant unless I do this quadruple bypass. So they tell me now we're gonna have to run a 24-hour dialysis during the surgery. I said, what? Is that even possible? Yeah. So it was Dr. Takita.
It's probably your best dialysis yet because you were asleep.
Because they knocked you out.
Yes and no. So the day comes. I mean, I'm petrified. I'm in the surgery 7 hours, 8 hours. And then what happened was I went into anaphylactic shock during the surgery. I started bleeding during surgery. They stop your heart during it. So during the surgery, I don't know what's going on. My family's worried because they're not hearing anything. And I tell the story to some people. They're like, yeah, that's your mind doing it or whatever. I was visited by guardian angels. And one of the guardian angels told me, he had long hair, I'll never forget, blue eyes, and just like a little disheveled. He goes, you wouldn't talk to me in the real world. He goes, because of the way I look. And he sat with me. I remember sitting with me, this is going to be okay. And a bunch of different people came. I didn't know them by face, but somehow I had a connection with them. And it was about 5 or 6 people. And they stayed with me till I woke up.
So were you?
That's crazy.
After the surgery, were you dead at all?
I wasn't dead. They stopped my heart during it. There was complications during it. And when you read the notes, they're very unclear.
Yeah.
They said anaphylactic shock. And the doctor, not to make a joke of it, but the doctor was Asian. So my mother didn't know if he said I had a problem with breathing or bleeding. Didn't know. And he's great. Dr. Keto, he was great to Keto at Columbia. But
maybe breathing,
that was the
too.
problem. And my mom was like, what? So that was an old issue there.
So you've had a hell of a road. And then,
Yeah.
so are you still on dialysis now?
No, so I due to heart surgery, which was terrible to recover from, and you actually, for some reason, a lot of people that I've talked to people, they become like depressed after the open heart surgery.
I've actually heard of that
Yes.
before. That is a real
Yes.
thing. People go through strokes and things like that. They become so. Getting back to Charlie, that was my big thing with Charlie is try to keep his spirits up because I've seen it happen. Some people get it from anesthesia too.
Yeah, it has something to do. They call it, like I read, broken heart syndrome.
Yeah.
Like it's something with that. Maybe something's released, but you'll cry for no reason. You watch a movie and start crying, and at the time going through all this stuff, so it was like, it was very, very emotional. I mean, I walked in that surgery where the day before I walked 2 miles. When I walked out of the surgery, I couldn't walk. I had put videos up of my first day walking.
Yeah, I saw 'em.
I was out of breath walking 20 feet. And I was like, what did I do? I was fine. But my dad said, like he said before the surgery, he told me, he goes, listen, you either die on the table or you die on the street, maybe in Manhattan or somewhere, with people stepping over you. And I was like, yeah, you're right.
But you made it through.
I made it through that, yes.
I got to tell you, so I want to bring this up. We're in here recording one night, and we do this show. It's a labor of love, and we will get distracted from time to time from our mission, and our mission is truly to reach people and get their stories out, and so other people might find comfort, to be that voice of comfort that we spoke about earlier. So I'm in my truck right before I'm about to drive home, and I'm checking Instagram, and sure enough, there's a message from you. And I wish I had the verbiage with it. I should have got it ready, but it's. I just want to let you know. Hey, it was like, hey, brother, I just want to let you know that I listened to your show, and while I was staring at my drawer, it got me through when I was sitting in my bed staring at the drawer.
Yeah.
I immediately send it to him. That text, you have absolutely no idea the impact that it had on him and I. It
100%.
was the most beautiful message I've ever gotten, and all of a sudden, here's what it did. That voice of that it just brought us right back. And it's those little things, those little random acts of kindness. We've met, but we didn't know each other. And for you to send a message like that, it meant the world to me, and I know it meant the world to Mike.
Well, you know what it is, because we're trying to get the word out and trying to help people, and you don't really know if it's actually helping people. But that just gave us like the proof that the show, as idiotic as we are sometimes, it's actually helping people.
Can I ask you why you sent that, or you felt compelled to send that?
I used to see show a lot, and I said that's the way I feel. You just feel so depressed. You're in such a dark place, and you talk to your family, your close ones you talk to, and you're afraid to tell them just certain things. Sometimes you're just like how sad you are, because you don't want that to be sad. You don't want to know. I'll give you an example. I like to order clothes. I like to dress up. I like to order clothes. I like nice things, and I was so scared of dying. I was so depressed. And I never told anybody this. I was afraid to order clothes. I like these clothes, certain clothes from certain. I was afraid to order the clothes because I said, if I die, my mom or my girlfriend or my dad is going to be here when it's delivered, and it would break them. That hey, they would be so sad. By this, I wouldn't even order clothes. And some people say, I don't get it. If you truly went through anything, you get it.
Yeah, absolutely.
There's really no need to explain it anymore.
So what got you out of that mindset?
A lot of my parents, and I just couldn't let my parents down again, number one. I always have a fight in me, even though certain days it just felt like it was endless. And just hearing people's stories help. That's why I do what I do when I talk to people. And it brought me out of it a little, like there's some light at the end of this tunnel. I just got to get through this. And it was like, you ever see the movie Lone Survivor?
Oh, yeah.
So instead of, I started looking at the long picture down the hall. Like, I got this to do. I got to get through the heart thing. Then I got to get through this. So he said something in that movie where when he was totally broken down, he said, I would put a line on the dirt and I would crawl.
Absolutely. Yeah. He says this in the book.
Right.
The book is perfect when he does this.
Yeah, he would crawl to that line. So I said, I got to, each day, I got to put a line. I got to crawl to that line each day. Dialysis is going to be bad today. Make like there's no other dialysis session. Okay, you're going to do this today. You got a test or an eval. You're going to do that. Today, you're going to take 20 steps instead of 10. And I drew that line imaginary line. I crawled to it. I crawled to it each day till I got to the good part where my mom actually went through all the testing and we got the call she was a match. And on November 27th, we did it. Not at Columbia, but...
Man, if my mother ever gave me a kidney, I'd never hear the end of it.
Especially an Italian.
You know, they asked my mom on the phone, because you got to talk to a social worker, they got to psych you. Why do you want to give the kidney? And her answer was, because I don't want to lose another kid.
It's a good answer.
It's a great answer.
Probably, all right, here, sign these papers.
Yeah.
We're good to go.
And we did that at NYU. We had Dr. Gelb, my mom had. He was great. He held her hand going in. Dr. Berger and Dr. Montgomery leads a great program. I left Columbia because I didn't like the way the program was at this time. And NYU has been great. NYU Langone in the city. And I would recommend it to anybody that needs a transplant.
So you actually saw your mother personifies what a real parent's love is for their child.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, there's no greater deed than laying down your life for another.
Yeah.
Because if your mother would have died on that table, she's got to be in her 70s.
My mother's 68.
She's 68.
She had me young.
Wow. Yeah. So, but if she's probably figuring, okay, I've lived my life.
She signed a paper. She wrote a paper out. I think she gave it to my girlfriend. It said, if I die on the table, make sure he gets both kidneys.
Wow.
Yeah. She was in a lot of pain afterwards. You know, first 2 days you're in pain because my girlfriend was with her and she's yelling, Michael, take the other kidney and throw me in the river. You know, but she's great. She just went to Vegas. I mean, she's living her life. And I mean, it just, I can't say, I mean, she's an angel. I mean, and these doctors are angels, not these basketball players and these baseball players making millions. The heroes to me, my mom, my girlfriend, my dad for being there. And these doctors, I mean, what they do, there's no amount of money could even replace it. I mean, they're the true heroes.
We sat in front of Dr. Miglietta, who's probably the preeminent trauma surgeon in the country. And right before we recorded, he was working on the couple gunshot victims. And, you know, it's his day. Yeah. That's what he does. And it feels good.
He left at the end of the podcast to go do another.
Yeah. But that's what he loves. He loves it. He loves helping people.
The world needs people like that.
So where can our audience find you? I know it's Leo_CEO.
Underscore Leo, the numeral 2, and then CEO on Instagram.
We will put a lower third on that as well. And do you have anything else you want to plug?
Just if you're out there and you're going through something tough, know there is an end point. You'll get through it. If you're having problems with kidney, I advise you strongly inbox me. And I know a lot of stuff the doctors really didn't experience, but little things you can do, certain things you can take to ease it and put you at ease. I have a lot of people every week reach out to me with kidney disease, chronic kidney disease, and or if you're just feeling depressed about something or whatever it is, like, just think there's always something worse. Like I real quick, I watched a thing today on Steve McMichael. He was the former Bears player.
Yep.
Had ALS. That's a terrible disease.
Yeah.
And I mean, I could have had that. And so it could be worse. And like I said, draw that imaginary stick, that line, and crawl to it. Just think of that. Don't look all the way ahead.
We get stuck in our own head. Like, I had one of those days today where just nothing went right. Like, it's stupid stuff. Like, really stupid stuff. Like, I go to make my coffee and there's no K-Cups, and there's no K-Cups where I keep them, so I got to go out into the garage and get them. That's all I had to do was walk to the garage and get another box of K-Cups. But it was so frustrating because I was so short on time, and I was getting mad, and I was getting frustrated. I'm like, my kidneys work.
Yeah.
I don't have to sit through dialysis. I don't have to get my chest cracked open for open heart surgery. So I don't like hearing these stories, don't get me wrong, but it gives me a lot of perspective in my own life because I get caught in my head sometimes. I'm a head
we all
case.
do. I think God gave me a cross to carry, and he helped me with it and put people in my life to help me with it. And just, I think I'm still here for a reason.
You said before the mind is like the greatest thing.
Absolutely.
It's also the worst thing, too.
Oh, it could be the worst thing. I was in my head a lot. But I could have made, I would talk to my girlfriend at night, and I'd say, I think I got this now.
Well, you just start making up stories. You overthink things and just keep making things up.
And you believe them.
Yeah.
That's the worst part.
That's the worst part of it.
So we're coming to the end of this thing, Michael, and I end the show the same way every time. You've gone through several different episodes of suffering. You worked your entire police career. You tried to do what was right. You tried to live on the right side of the wall, not like your friend Mike Dowd, but I hope
we love you, Mike.
I hope he watches this. That's what
Mike's, I tell you, Mike's a great guy.
Yeah.
You know, he might call me every day.
Yeah.
And he even actually, I told my girlfriend, we had, right before the open heart surgery, he said, I'm paying for dinner. I said, oh my God, I'm gonna die. I said, he thinks I'm gonna die, doesn't he?
Oh.
Yeah.
Mike picked up a meal.
That would have been enough to give you a heart attack.
Yeah, I said, I'm really gonna die.
So how was Arby's that night?
He actually paid the place Lamani he paid for, which is a pretty high-end restaurant.
He does like his good food.
But he did call me almost every day.
So you've gone through...
And John also.
John, yeah. So John, they're great when in times of crisis.
Yes.
Both of those guys. So you've gone through this portion of suffering. You're through it now. I guarantee it's taught you something. What has it taught you?
Taught me you don't take anything for granted, number one. And it taught me God is great. And I talk about this with my friend Kevin Orlando, who had a transplant. And he had his first transplant. They forgot to catch the vein. And the kidney got destroyed, basically.
Ouch.
Oh wow.
The second one, that guy got a second one later on. But we talk about it all the time. You know,
There's no returns on Amazon on that.
No. We talk about the meaning of it and everything. And they said, God put us here, you know, and to be, you know, you got to have they say it's cliche with a warrior mentality. But you need some type of, like, being cops and all. We got something in us that regular people don't have. And I believe God gives us these things. He knows we could get through it. And somewhere out there, there's people that don't have those resources in their life. And he's going to put us in their life to help them.
Why me is not the right question.
No.
It's
not.
just not the right question.
The question is, why not me?
Yeah.
It's like, what's this mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's
Why
probably
not?
better.
I mean, those things just don't happen by coincidence.
God gives his biggest battles to his toughest soldiers.
Yeah.
Michael, I'm so glad you're here.
Yeah,
Oh, thanks for having me.
absolutely.
I'm so glad you're here. Like I said, you're always going to be family. That text message alone, every time I lose my way or something, I still think about that. I have that text message saved. I took a screenshot of it, and I do look at it. I'm so happy that you made it through. I look forward to what you're going to do. And I also like the fact that you're taking your own suffering and you're paying it forward. That's, that's a great thing.
Absolutely.
So thank you so much for coming.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Really appreciate it.
You're one strong person.
Thank you.
And that's going to do it for this episode of the Suffering Podcast, The Suffering of a Transplant with Michael Palazzo. And let's think about all the stuff that we learned. Police get paid well for a reason. I'm not sure if Cheerios, they may make your kidneys fail. The mind is the most powerful thing. Become a voice of comfort. Always have the fight in you, but most importantly, keep crawling to the next line. And that's going to do it for this episode. Don't forget to go to popple.com for your digital business card. Put in the code TSP20 for a 20% discount. Visit the Oakley Kitchen, and I always got to look at the address at 789 Bloomfield Avenue in Nutley. Great food, great fun, live music, lots of fun there. And don't forget to follow us on all social media. That's Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, Clapper.
Pornhub.
You had to throw that one in there. Follow Mike at Mike_Failace. Follow me at Real Kevin Donaldson. And, of course, follow the Suffering Podcast. We're going to see you on the next episode.